If you don't have a growing database of local images for your radio station website, you could be wasting valuable employee time and losing visitor engagement on the front end. Today, we'll explain why an image database is so important and we'll give you the easiest way possible to do it. Images are extremely important to every website, not just radio station websites or news websites or anything like that. And the research shows it. Images get clicks, not headlines. No matter how awesome your headlines are, the images are what captures eyes first. And for the past 13 years, I've been telling every radio station that they should be building a local image library of everything in their community, from police vehicles, city buildings, fire trucks, police cars, school buses, landmarks, you name it. And very few have actually done it. It's not because they don't understand the value. Every manager that I've talked to agrees it'd be awesome to have hundreds or even thousands of local photos ready to go at a moment's notice whenever something happens in their market. And that's really unfortunate because local images have become more valuable today than they really have ever been. I mean, think about how often you're publishing stories or, you're mentioning stories on the radio, but hopefully you're putting all of these on your station website as well. And you don't want to fill your website of just, clip art and stuff like that. I mean, if a water main breaks, there's a fire at a landmark building, a school board announces a new superintendent, a road closes, what's the first thing that you do? You start hunting for an image to put on the website. And if you don't already have one, then you're scrambling and you're wasting time doing that while you're trying to find this awesome image that goes along with your story. Maybe you grab something online, hoping that it's legal. Maybe you search Facebook, hoping that someone has posted something that you can use. Maybe that's legal. Maybe you settle for a basic, clip art, like I said, and nobody likes clip art anymore. Modern websites should not use clip art. We are not in the 80s and 90s anymore, okay? So maybe you choose a generic stock photo that could have really been taken anywhere. Or maybe even you let AI generate something for you. And the problem with AI images is that they feel generic. And that's technically impressive that we have the ability to generate AI images, but they're not your town. They're not local. When somebody sees this image, they know that they've never passed that before. And, so if a story is about a local courthouse, people want to see your courthouse. If the story is about the fire department, they want to see your ladder truck, not someone that says New York or something like that on the side of it. All right. If it's about a Friday night football game, they want the actual stadium where they have probably sat in the bleachers for decades. Those little details matter. And they tell visitors this story is about us. And that's really not something that AI can really recreate. They do good work. The images are great. We use AI images on our website, but we're more generic. We're not talking about the local police chief or, the local fire, brigade and that sort of thing. When you have local images, it makes your news teams faster. Think about it. If that image were like already sitting in your media library because you've been developing this image library, then they're publishing in minutes instead of wasting their time doing all of that searching that we're talking about. You're not interrupting their momentum to go find artwork somewhere. And then speaking of finding artwork, another benefit of a local image database is, I really alluded to it already, is that's copyright. I hear horror stories every single month from managers saying that they've had to pay thousands of dollars because somebody grabbed something off of Google that they should not have. Owning your photography eliminates that problem entirely. You know exactly where the image came from because your team captured it. And the funny thing is that none of this has ever been a technology problem. Websites have always accepted the uploads. The biggest problem has always been the workflow of getting the images there. And we have the most simple way of getting the images now with the smartphones in our pockets. But getting the photo from someone's phone into the website quickly enough is not something that we were ever really able to do. I mean, think about it. You're driving home, you see this beautiful sunset over the local water tower, and you pull your phone out, take a picture, and think, that would be good somewhere on the website. I'm sure we could use that at some point because, I mean, we're always talking about our town. And then the reality kicks in. All right, now you got this photo on your phone. And so to get it off, are you going to email it? Are you going to, airdrop it? I mean, are you going to, and then you have to resize it, compress it, drop it into Photoshop and do all of that. Maybe you have to crop something, maybe do a little editing. And then once you do all that, you have to upload it to the website, give it a title, add the alt text. You see how many steps that I'm going through here, right? And you finally, you subconsciously think, yeah, maybe I'll do that later or maybe never. And then, but if you do say later, then it really never happens because the image that you thought was very cool now has become work. Now multiply that by every one of your staff members, every air personality, every salesperson who's gone out and, they a business grand opening that they've attended or something like that. Every high school football team, every festival, every landmark, fire truck, police cruiser, school bus, every school, every downtown business, all of these thousands of opportunities to build this incredible local media library on your station website. And every one of them disappears because getting into the website is just too much of a hassle. I get it. I've been there for years and years and years. I mean, it's just a hassle getting them from your phone to your computer and then getting them from your computer to the website. That's the part that has really never been solved until now. Over the past month, we have been quietly building something called CaptureRelay. Its entire job is to remove every bit of friction between taking the picture on your phone and having that picture properly optimized inside your WordPress media library. No Photoshop, no resizing, no exporting, no FTP, no logging into a website. Just point, click, send, and it's on your website. Just consider this. You heard about a house fire a few miles down from the radio station. Your news guy is there getting the details from the police scanner to write the story. You could pick a random fire truck to include the story, or that salesperson who just happens to live nearby could snap the photo and it be waiting in your media library by the time that you finish the article. You've gone from a generic image now to eyes on scene instantly. That's the kind of reporting that will have your listeners and, more importantly, your competitors wondering, how in the world did you pull that off? Now, CaptureRelay isn't a photo app per se. It can take photos, but it's really about finally giving you that practical way of getting images from your website quickly into your image database on your website. And that's giving you that ability to get that image database a whole lot quicker now, because basically it's just that simple. Shoot, send, it's there. And one last thing, I want to get into the demo of this, but just one last thing. This is a radio station website podcast, but this is not for just radio stations, and it's not for just Skyrocket Radio affiliates or anything like that. So don't think that if you have a website that runs on WordPress, you can use this. The WordPress plugin is absolutely free, and you can get the app at CaptureRelay.app. The mobile app is available on both app stores right now, so you can jump in and get that. So let's jump into a generic WordPress website here for a demo. Now, if you're listening to the audio version of this, please maybe pause this and jump into YouTube and to actually see what we're doing. So let's jump in. Once you have the plugin installed on your WordPress website, you will see this finish setting up CaptureRelay before inviting app users. And this is important that you do go through these settings before you actually have folks submitting images to your website. So you have three options here. You can review the settings, read the documentation, or dismiss. We'll jump into this. And by the way, the options for this are under the Tools menu and CaptureRelay. So we'll click on Review Settings. We have different sections of this: the connections, your settings, your upload activity, your diagnostics, and your documentation. And the documentation goes through everything about what Capture Relay does within the mobile app and in the plugin as well. You can get in here like capturing and delivering images, what appears in WordPress, the settings, preferences, that sort of thing. Goes through all of that right in here. You also have a diagnostics tab, gives you some information about your server. If you have something on your server that like can't handle images, there are not many of them that cannot, but if you do, something will pop up here saying that probably something that you need to address. You have upload activity here for all of the users that you have submitting photos to your website. You can see an upload activity under settings here, and it's divided up into different sections. First, your images. You can decide what the image width and the height of all images on that are coming in to your website. Now, all national news publications and modern websites or whatever, they have a style guide, and every featured image is always going to be the same height and the same width. And so that's what basically what Capture Relay is for, is getting in those featured images. Now they can be used in galleries and all kinds of things. But what Capture Relay does is it downsizes the images as they come in. So the images that are saved to your media library match these constraints. They can be JPEG or they can be WebP images. If your server is capable of converting images into WebP, you can decide the image quality, the maximum upload size coming in to your website. If your server doesn't handle certain image sizes, then you have that ability to adjust that here, either higher or lower. For image credit, inside of the mobile app that we'll get to a little bit later on, each user has a place to put their name. They will appear as the image credit on all of the images that they supply to your website. How do you want that to look within your image captions? You get to decide that, like courtesy of, photo by, whatever like that. And then you put the little, or the parentheses, the credit. And so that's where that from their mobile app is going to appear on your website. Let's say they don't have that enabled. They don't have it populated within their mobile app. It's just blank. The images that they send you will not say photo by nothing. It just won't appear at all. But you can decide a default copyright value. Like for this website right here, we may want to say, and so that would be the default if they do not supply it within their app. And then do you want to enable mobile uploads or disable them? Why would you want to disable them? This is what the plugin is for, right? Well, you might want to disable this. Let's say you're moving sites, moving servers or something like that, and you don't want to possibly lose any images within that migration. You have the ability to, you're essentially pausing it here, and then you can re-enable it. And do you want to accept new connection requests or not? Let's say that everybody on your news team has a copy of Capture Relay. You're not accepting any new requests, but somebody may, find out that you have the, this plugin and then want to be bombing you with requests or whatever. You can disable that right here. How long should requests last before they have to, resubmit their request? Maximum pending requests. And you have a lot of little granular things right here that you can, depending on your server and depending on your needs, control how many of those requests come in and how often. And then down here, if you want to send approval request emails, of course you probably do, or maybe you want to disable it. You don't want to get the emails, but you come back in and you check the website every 12 to 6 hours or whatever. So nothing's going to get by you. That's perfectly fine. We leave that enabled. Do you want to send an email after each image upload? I personally like to enable that because I like to get a copy of all of the images that I know that are coming in to my news website from everybody who has that. So you're able to see the images that are coming in as they are coming in real time. And then do you want to email again for repeat device request? Sometimes you want to disable that. Sometimes you want it to enable that. So you have the ability to. And then the administrator email that might get that request. And then down here, how long do you want to keep those logs? And then down here at the bottom, you can choose to erase the plugin data whenever this plugin is installed. And then once you submit save the changes here, then that little nag will go away saying that, hey, you just installed this. All right. So, and then you have your connections right here. And this is your pending. request your approved devices, and then reject, expired, or revoked. Yes, we can revoke and actually disable, and so we don't get those repeat request offenders every so often. All right, now let's get into our mobile device. I have Capture Relay installed here on my iPhone, and the first time that you open it up, you will see this right here. It's going to give you, do you want to connect to a website or do you want to see settings? Let's jump into settings real quick. And I mentioned the default photo credit. That is where you enter that right there. And then you come down here. Do I want to save photos taken with this device to this device, or do I want to disable it? I recommend that you leave that everybody leaves this enabled, because if something happens, you delete a photo from their website, they'll have it saved on their device. So nothing's going to happen in the relay of that image because it's queued on your device until that it shows that their website has accepted it. But something may happen to the image actually on the server or on your website, and there's a back of it on this device right here. And then do you want to show a camera grid as you're taking images? And then you have links to our support, privacy policy, and terms. So let's jump into websites here. Of course, there's nothing in the queue, and we can't use the camera because we haven't set up a website yet. So let's set up a website. And we're going to use our sample here. And then for device name, you want to give it something that the administrator of this website will know that it's you. So that could be your name if you want to. You don't have to put your name in there. This is just something about this device that recognizes you to that administrator. And then we'll say request access. And we see now that we have CaptureRelay.news for this device, and we are awaiting approval. Now let's go back into the website and we can refresh the admin here. We see we have one new connection, Jim's iPhone. We don't have the model. Some Android devices will actually show the model of device right here. Nothing here that has personal information. The platform that they're on right here, when they requested it, when this request is going to expire. And we can approve, reject, or reject and block this. And if we reject and block this, we won't receive any more requests from this device ever. So we'll approve this. All right. And we see them there as we can change their device name if we want to. We can revoke it, or we can revoke and block it. All right. So let's go back into our app. We can refresh the status here, or just wait a few moments and it'll refresh automatically. And we'll see that we are approved. If we have multiple websites in here, and you can actually submit images to multiple websites, and whatever of their image sizes that they require, your image will be resized to that image size on their website. So if you have a website that has, for this website, our images are 800 by 500. On your website, you may want 1,000 by 660, whatever. You can do that. What it will do is that we'll send the same image to both websites in the size that they require. It will be saved on their website in their particular size. Now, for this photo credit, we can make this custom to each website. So if you are Jim on one website and Susie on another website, you can actually change your image caption right there. So we can test this. We can see that we're successfully connected, and then we can go to our queue. We have nothing there, and we can go to our camera. Now here I am in the office. I'm not out and about, but if I wanted to take a picture of this mouse right here, send a picture of it. Now we have whenever you take an image with the device, you notice that I was in portrait mode, and it works in portrait mode or landscape mode. So for an image title, we can, on some devices, we have the ability to suggest title and alt text. We'll upload this one right here. For suggest title and alt text, it actually uses onboard AI for iOS and Android devices. Now, their onboard AI, is getting better by the day. It's not perfect right now. It's not perfect within our app either. And so we're not promising that it is, but we are not actually pulling any of the open models out there like OpenAI or Perplexity or Claude or anything like that. Everything is actually on device. So we want to make sure that this is private as possible. So we can upload this. All right. And then we'll take a picture of this. We'll take a picture of this white mouse. How about that? And we'll take a picture of that. Now we'll actually use the suggest title and alt text on this one. Structure, word processing, and machine. Like I said, it's not very good right now, but it is getting better. So you'll have to go in there and edit those. This AI will actually be getting better over time. And then we'll hit upload on this one as well. All right, you see we have nothing in our queue. The first time that you use photos and the camera, of course, it's going to ask you that if you approve that for this app or whatever. So you'll want to be sure that you approve those. Now I went through here and I took some images on my walk this morning. So let's use this one right here. And what we can, so this is actually pulled from our image library on our device. And we can come in here, we can suggest the text, or we can adjust the framing. And when we adjust the framing, we can move up and down. This photo right here was taken in portrait mode. So if I wanted to move this up and down, or if I wanted to zoom in a little bit and maybe put that off to the side, so adjust my spacing just a little bit, we can do that here. So pinching in works in if you want to zoom in or zoom out, or just use your just use your finger to move like the image to the side, and then you can click done. And then you can come in here, add an image title and alt text. Alternatively, you do not have to do that, and then we can send the photo. All right, so we've sent 3 photos so far. Let's jump back into the website, and we will hit refresh on this. Go to our upload activity. We'll see that we have 3 images here. We can click on these, and it goes right into the media library for that image. You see over here, we didn't actually send an alt and title text with that, but we do have the photo caption right here. Come back into the library. See, I have our awesome title and alt text that AI give us on this one. And of course, the yellow mouse here. All right. So that's really what CaptureRelay does. It removes the barrier of getting images from your phone into your WordPress website. That has been the major issue on why we haven't done so many more, images like that, is because there's been a huge pain point of getting them from your phone into something like Photoshop, and then downsizing and then optimizing them and that sort of thing, and then uploading them to the website, putting the alt and title text in there. It can be very time consuming. As you saw, we have 3 images, 1 from the photo library and 2 that we just took. It took a couple clicks and they were on our website. Of course, this took a whole lot longer. I'm actually explaining things as I go, but you out in the field will be getting images to your website a whole lot faster. So whether you're one of our clients or not, or maybe even if you don't even have WordPress and you've stuck around for this long, I mean, thank you so much for doing that. But either way, I generally hope that you start building a local image database. There's just too many reasons not to. And everyone on your team can now be a contributor for image galleries, news and sports stories. I mean, you just name it. All right. So if you can get that kind of an image database on your station website, that's the kind of engagement that you're going to be getting, not only from your team, because they're going to be posting news stories and things a whole lot quicker, but your audience is going to like it a whole lot better also, because like I said, you are showing local images that they can relate to. Now, do you need a station website that gives you this kind of a superpower? We'd love to help you. Reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. See you next time.
Looking to maximize your radio station's digital presence? Skyrocket Radio delivers custom websites and mobile apps built exclusively for radio stations by radio professionals. Our websites engage listeners and drive revenue, while the integrated apps keep your audience connected wherever they are. It's a complete digital solution designed to boost your station's reach and ad sales. To take your station's online experience to the next level, visit skyrocketradio.com.